Hey guys, Fireblade here, and welcome to another RWBY What If. The last one was more of a crossover what if, but this one is gonna be a genuine what if. What if Ravin stayed with Tai and Yang? That's basically what it is. Most of those types of what if is what if Ravin kept Yang. But this one I'm taking a little bit of a detour from that one. Same concept but different. Anyways, basically, obviously Yang would have a mother, obviously, but with that change, RWBY, no, it would not. RWBY would still be a thing. Actually, she would. The name would actually come from Summer, because Summer liked the name and stuff like that. Like Crow and Summer come in on the second child, right? They haven't come up with a name yet, so Summer suggests RWBY. They like it, and they give RWBY her name. Now RWBY, she doesn't have the silver eyes. Obviously, she won't have the silver eyes, but she would stay the same, sort of. She would sort of be the same, just more of a she would be of a childish, but not an innocent childish as you would have seen in the anime. She's just more of the mischief childish, or something like that. Anyway, I see RWBY still using a scythe, favoring her uncle, Crow. Yang, I think she would still use fight, be more of a hand-to-hand combat, trained from Tai Yang. And however, her gauntlet would have like a blade in it, similar to how I made it in the animation with the where I used the audio from Kill la Kill, the Japanese dub, obviously. It would be similar to that, and Yang's gauntlet is more of a dust element compatible, actually, similar to Raven's sword, how it is dust compatible. Anyway, Ravin, she would still go to the tribe now and then to help train others and stuff like that, be stronger. Now she hasn't abandoned the tribe, but she won't leave her family essentially to stay with the tribe. Some of the tribe, actually would welcome Ravin, because considering that she still comes over there and still be part of the tribe. Others consider Ravin not a real part of the tribe because she won't stay there. Like that. Anyways, speaking of which, Ravin still won't trust Osmond. Like, she stays with Tai Yang and stuff like that, and her team here. She still doesn't trust Osmond. In fact, when raising Yang and RWBY, when Ravin would say something like, don't really trust Osmond or something like that, especially when they're going to Beacon. Ravin would say don't believe everything Osmond tells you, or something like that. She would basically tell him that, and something like that. Now the event of the anime will play out per se, the same actually, because it play out the same except with the story, except on the what's it called? With the talk that Yang gave to Blake, Yang doesn't have anything to try to set an example on what would happen. So Yang basically would have to resort to another tactic, which would have to be playing the flirt card or something like that. Basically, Yang would have to kind of play the card saying that, not only is she hurting herself, but she's hurting everyone around her, especially her, stuff like that, how she values Blake and stuff like that. Now that may be the Bumblebee shipping showing, it may not be. It will be however you want to see it. Anyways, yeah, like the events and anime play out the same, with Crow obviously being there, Summer's death and whatnot. And yeah, it would still play out the same, right? Until the fall of Beacon. The fall of Beacon, like I said, almost everything plays out just per se until the last battle with Cinder, right? With Cinder, RWBY still goes up there, RWBY still goes up to the tower only to watch Pyrrha die. Now I have said earlier, RWBY does not have the silver eye that she gotten from Summer. So RWBY can't damage some rape. RWBY can't do anything to Cinder. However, that doesn't stop RWBY. RWBY, obviously her semblance is still the same as Speed, but RWBY, upon seeing Pyrrha's death, RWBY gets a quote rage boost similar to Yang's semblance, but not to the extreme. However, it is just as blinding as when Yang charges to save Blake against Adam. And just in the situation with Adam, it does not go RWBY's way. Cinder would catch RWBY out in the air by her throat with one hand, just saying something along the lines like, do you want to play the hero? Well, at least I'll die one, or something like that. Basically, just like choking RWBY out, just squeezing her throat until eventually she like breaks her neck, something like that, just by squeezing it, and then this gets disintegrating RWBY. RWBY is now dead because of this, and Yang is grieving. Freaking Tai is grieving. The only one who isn't grieving or isn't showing it is Ravin. Ravin knows about that something like this would have happened. She knows about Salem and stuff like that, but Ravin did not take any of this into account. So Raven's more pissed at herself as well as, Cinder and whatnot. So during the recovery that Yang has, Ravin would take Yang to the tribe to try to toughen her up and stuff like that. And there she meets Vernal, which is, in this version, Vernal is actually the Spring Maiden, because Ravin wasn't there to take the Spring Maiden's power from the previous Maiden. And in this one, Vernal was one of Raven's students, basically one of her favorites in the tribe. So basically Ravin asked Vernal to teach Yang and stuff like that, to train her and use the actual Maiden's power to train Yang, stuff like that. Ravin explains to Yang that this will help her get stronger to help to defend everyone else that she has left, that wasn't taken by Cinder, stuff like that. Yang is still scared and whatnot. That's when Ravin goes hard on her, tells her everything that she would know about Salem and stuff like that. And for this training, Yang would have to stay and be, part of the actual tribe, and she can't go back until at least her training is done. Yang agrees on the condition that Yang can actually get her robot arm, and with that she agrees about half the time that it takes of the time skip that it took Yang to get better. It takes half the time, and the other half is Yang getting comfortable again fighting. And after that, Yang gets her robot arm, and she just actually starts using that, basically getting back her fighting style and whatnot. However, Yang is getting a lot stronger because of it, because she's being trained by Vernal and Ravin. Raven's a skilled swordswoman, but Vernal is using her freaking maiden power to help train as well. Basically, Yang is being attacked by two ends of a very skilled fighter and someone with basically supernatural powers. Basically, with all that, and by the time Cinder, Mercury, and Emerald comes in, which is when they come in, Yang immediately wants to. Yang is like in the back, like resting, but she peeks out of the tent and sees them. When they're asking about the Spring Maiden, Raven actually said that she's the Spring Maiden. So Vernal has that mask. Has that mask or a type of mask similar to Raven's in the actual anime, and does the same fake out that happened in the anime. Yang sees this and is wondering why they're doing this or something like that. Just questioning like that. And when they agree, and when Raven agrees, or Vernal agrees to help them out, Yang is just like, why would they help them out? And so once Cinder and the others leave, Yang comes out and asking why are they going to help? They don't really tell her anything, and Yang's getting more mad that she's not being told anything. That Raven wants Crow to be killed and stuff like that. It's just Yang's getting angry. So they have to resort to something that they didn't want to do. They have to resort to like a brainwashing or something like that, or something similar to that. And with that, we get Yang to help them out. So now with the attack that happens on the what's it called? I forgot the school's name. But on the attack right there, when it's Oscar Weiss, Nora, Ren, and Jean. They're all still there along with Crow, stuff like that. Because remember, Ruby is dead, so she's not gonna be there. But Crow figured that they would go and try to stop Cinder, like that. And Crow's suspicion was correct, and he helps them out. Now, Crow does not actually does not get poisoned, so because yeah. Anyways, the event it starts out the same essentially until the rest comes out of the portal and they see Yang right there basically. Crow is asking Yang what is happening. Yang doesn't answer. She has that mask on. She has a mask on essentially, similar to Varnell's or something like that. And a battle eventually begins. Basically almost plays out the same. Again, I say almost because Ruby isn't there and whatnot, but it's almost the same. With Cinder, with Lionheart opening the vault. Cinder, Vernal, and Raven goes down with everyone else fighting. Now the Mercury and Emerald, they were surprised at first to see Yang joining them, but after getting a quick explanation, they agree. But they keep an eye on Yang essentially. Anyways, like I said, with the remaining fight again happens almost the same. That happened before. But yeah, it almost happens the same. A Blake comes in to stop Adam and whatnot, and since that's done, Blake helps out with them as well as some of the other faunas that comes with Blake. Yeah. Down in the vault, right? Cinder tells Raven to go open the actual vault essentially, and she does gets close to it until the events happen the same. The events of the anime play out the same, with Cinder killing Raven trying to get the Spring Maiden power, and Vernal revealing that she was the Spring Maiden. Afterwards, Blake was able to snap Yang out of it, basically with a powerful blow to the head, like that, snapping Yang out of it, just questioning what is happening, stuff like that. And after getting a brief summary essentially from Crow, Yang goes to the vault for Vernal and Raven and stuff like that. And once there, she sees the battle is over with. She sees her mother on the ground, dead essentially. Yang rushes to Raven, just in her one arm and stuff like that. Vernal, she's behind Yang, right? And she has a sad look on her face because Vernal basically saw Ravin as like a mother, basically a mother who that she would see because of a divorce or something like that, but a mother that cared. Vernal is too sad about this, and Yang is basically mad at Vernal for not only manipulating her or brainwashing her, but also letting Ravin die. It's kind of that. Vernal also like just is also saddened as well, and apologizes and stuff like that. Back on the surface, the battle is already starting to wind down and stuff like that. You know, happening for the same. Emerald saying that Cinder will beat them and stuff like that. Until they see Yang coming back up with the relic in her hand, and then which basically caused Emerald to use that hallucination thing with Salem, and stuff like that. Everyone else is like obviously at the same reaction, but Yang, she basically doesn't react at all. Basically, Yang's reaction face is just a stoic face right now. She's showing no emotion right now. It isn't until Blake actually tries to talk to Yang, something like that. Until Yang actually pulls in Blake for a hug, just holding her tight. Not crying or anything, but it's just not crying, not sobbing, nothing. She's just holding Blake into a hug. Wise who's seeing this is just, you know, sad, happy to see this, and basically wants to be part of this. Until like Yang opens up an arm to welcome Wise, something like that. And you can see that she has a smile on her face. Her eyes basically still has that like life drained out of it, but she's smiling essentially, smiling at Wise to welcome her into the hug. Blake also welcomes Wise, and we get the remaining of Team RWBY hugging. And that's basically it so far. That's basically it. I'm gonna say this now. I'm basically pulling this entire thing out of my ass. I didn't really spend too much time thinking about this, but hey, if I eventually do a part 2 of this, or if I do like what if / crossover idea cleanup, this will be part of it. Anyways, yeah, like I said, the anime mostly focuses on RWBY, Wise, Yang, and Blake. The personality was still the same. Yang being more, you know, not really having to be the adult and stuff like that, can, you know, act more immature and stuff like that. She doesn't have to be you know, the one to burden RWBY's burden and stuff like that. But RWBY, since she wasn't born with silver eyes, RWBY is dead. As RWBY dies along with Kira and Penny, not only does Team Juniper can never be reunited fully, but neither can Team RWBY. Now it's just up to Yang to basically take over RWBY's role as main character in this What If. But what would happen to Vernal and stuff like that? In the anime, Ravin, after the talk that Ravin and Yang had, we see Ravin leave essentially like that, or hear that she leaves. In this one, we don't see what happens. If you can figure out what it is, then good for you. I'll let you know and stuff like that, and I'll give you a free request for something. You can request anything. Anyways, yeah. Fireblade here. If you like this What If, be sure to click the like and the subscribe button. Be sure to comment down what other type of What If you want to see. It could be a RWBY What If, a Dragon Ball Z, freaking, I don't know, Danny Phantom. I say that because I recently watched it. Anyways, Fireblade here, and I will see you later, or whatever I make. Bye!